it's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid game, but you know, it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best team that I can, and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all we want to.
Yo, what is popping? People, your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know how we do. Before we get started, go ahead and do your boy a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when we go on live or dropping this heat. But we'll do it this way. We got to thank you for watching the video. And while you're here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know how we get down. You know what I'm talking about? There's only one way we do it, and we don't do it unless we pay homage to the beautiful ladies and the CU aunties for always stopping by, for always showing support, for always standing 10 toes down with your boy, and more importantly, with everybody else that's a part of the CU family. So y'all know how we get down. Y'all know what we do. We here to talk about shots being fired across the bow. Now, there will be excuses made and there will be things said. And of course, Dillon Gabriel walked back the little shot he took, saying that news reporters are the entertainers. But let's talk about it. There seems to have been something taking place yesterday during the game where Dillon Gabriel gave a mid-game interview right after he was taken out of the game at halftime. And the statement of there being a difference between entertainers and competitors. And of course, as we all know, the internet does what the internet does at all times, you know, but it's not uncommon for people to make comments in the heat of the battle. In a highly competitive situation, when you just come off the field, your adrenaline is high, and things are said or mentioned that could be misconstrued. Us that follow Colorado, us that have followed Shedeur throughout his childhood up until now, we understand what the rest of the world don't see, because most of us have followed the Sanders family through childhood, being that Dion has had several reality shows featuring his family. And we watched Shedeur, Shiloh, and Bossy, Dion Jr. We watched them all blossom into the young adults that they are today. But that statement by Dillon Gabriel, which Tony Grossi and Mary Kay Cabot gave him a chance to clarify what he said, to unpack that statement, to make sure there wasn't a misunderstanding. But yet and still, never said Shedeur's name. And Mary Kay Cabot made sure that she mentioned Shedeur to Dillon Gabriel so he would get a chance to say no. I wasn't talking about Shedeur. I was talking about you guys, and my teammates and I are competitors. Never mentioned it. She gave him a chance to clarify, but Dillon didn't clarify. So let's listen.
There's a quote that you said, there's entertainers and competitors, and I'm a competitor, and I understand there's entertainers. What context is that quote given?
You know, all you in this room are entertainers, and you have a job to do, and I respect it, right? And I'm a competitor, so I have a job to do as well. And I think, you know, just understanding that, That's how I've lived by, and I've said that multiple times. So definitely not a new quote, but something that I've definitely said.
So you were referring to media as the entertainer?
Yeah, I just said that.
Can you, and just to clarify, I mean, I think, you know how social media is, I think some people are trying to take that as something that you probably did not mean it as. Some people are trying to make it out to be sort of a shot at Shedeur. Can you just explain?
First off, I'm all about our team, you know what I mean, and each other. I would never make that, and I've said it before, that's why it's interesting, but for me, I've explained it, entertainers are you all, competitor, that's what I am, and all my teammates, and we both have jobs to do, so that's it.
Now, you can take it how you want to take it. A shot is a shot. And being that Dillon Gabriel went to Oregon and Dan Lanning was his coach, and he took the same shot right before Oregon played Colorado. Apple don't fall far from the tree.
Right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. There's a difference. Right? There's a difference. Right? This game ain't gonna be played in Hollywood, it's gonna be played on the grass. Right? It's gonna be played on the grass.
And that's the shot Dan Lanning took at Colorado before Oregon and Colorado played in Oregon. The entertainer part. Now, take it as a shot, take it as a diss, take it how you may. Point being that it was done. And Shedeur can live with that. Shedeur is just as thick-blooded as the rest of them. He's not soft. He's not simple. He knows how to take those hits and keep on moving. But let's talk about the game. Dillon Gabriel played a good game yesterday. He came out on freaking fire. I mean, on fire. First series, 4 for 6. Second series, 4 for 4 with a touchdown. Kicked a field goal on the first drive. Came out. First play was a sack. And then that pick happened. And everything changed. Then he got sacked. That second sack, I'm going to say it again. That second sack changed Dillon Gabriel's mind. Because after that second sack, it wasn't looking too good. All his passes were in the dirt. All of them were short. Some of them were overthrown. He just wasn't as poised in the pocket as he was before all of that had taken place. Pick 6, I don't want to hear no excuses about nothing. That's Dillon Gabriel's fault. He's the quarterback. All picks go to the quarterback. You don't throw that ball no matter what. Too many people bunched up in the corner. That ball either should have went to the outside receiver or to the stands. One of the two. But the comparison of the two quarterbacks, we're never going to escape that. And yesterday, Dillon Gabriel went 13 for 18 for 143 yards with an interception and a fumble. While the week before, Shedeur went 14 and 23 with 138 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, no fumbles, no interceptions. And you say it's different. It's not different. Dillon Gabriel looked good before that interception. Dillon Gabriel was moving the ball, looking great before that sack. But once those two transpired, Dillon Gabriel was bad. He didn't look good. He looked rattled. He looked confused. He didn't hold the poise of a confident quarterback. He was under duress. And some will say Dillon Gabriel had a better game than Shedeur. It's not factual. Even though his completion percentage was better, yes, he threw less passes. He had more yards. They kept him safe. It's what Kevin Stefanski did for Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel had starters on the field with him. A whole freaking starting left tackle, right guard, wide receivers. He had a bunch of starters on the field. What Dillon Gabriel did compared to what Shedeur did is completely different. Dillon Gabriel gave up 14 points yesterday. Gave up a pick six, gave up a fumble. They both got touchdowns. At halftime, Dillon Gabriel was down 13-12, and it was on Dillon Gabriel that they were down. Those two turnovers cost them points. And as a coach, turnovers will get you fired. Yes, all quarterbacks will throw interceptions. Yes, all quarterbacks will muff up a snap. They will have a fumble from now and then. But on your first NFL appearance, that's not what you do. That's not the look you want to give your head coach or your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator, especially when you're trying to win a job. Not a day one. If you walk into a plant and on your first day of work, you break $100,000 worth of equipment, you're not going to have that job. And as a quarterback, the worst thing you can do is throw a pick six. I don't want to hear the excuses about what Dillon Gabriel did. He played well until he didn't. And when he didn't, he didn't. He had 3 scoring drives. 1 was for a touchdown, 2 were for field goals. There's the difference again. 21 points versus 13 points. Big difference in the comparison. There's a lot to compare versus yesterday. But when you throw a pick six, you can't, your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator don't trust you as much. See, these are all of Dillon Gabriel's plays from field level, courtesy of the beautiful Cameron Justice from ABC5 in Cleveland. She was on the field capturing all this wonderful footage. So to say that Dillon Gabriel has a nice arm, he completed some wonderful passes. All of them were short. Most of them were short. He had a few passes over 10 to 12 yards, and they were good passes. But everything else was 6, 7, 8 yards to the sideline. That pass to Amari Thrash on the right hash, going out of bounds to get that 3rd and 5, great freaking pass. But Dillon Gabriel still looked uncomfortable. Kevin Stefanski had to call the timeout because he didn't line the team up correctly. They couldn't get the team lined up correctly. Didn't have that problem when Shedeur was on the field. You know, it's those little things. If they wasn't able to run the ball yesterday, then I feel Dillon Gabriel would have had a bigger problem. They kept him in a lot of max protection when it was time for him to pass the ball. They kept him in a lot of open sets to try to keep him safe. They didn't go 5 wide, but one time, I don't think. I don't even think they went 5 wide more than once. But It is what it is, man. Dillon Gabriel took a shot at Shedeur, and it's not going to rest well. Shedeur will be cordial. Shedeur will hold his own. You won't hear a peep out of Shedeur about that comment. But what you will see is Shedeur tighten it up on the field and show you guys what he can do. So, we're going to get out of here. Y'all leave y'all comments because I love to hear what you guys always have to say. But the things that are taking place, Dillon Gabriel has had more reps than any other quarterback in training camp. And that is with the 2 weeks that he has had off. More reps than anyone in training camp, including Joe Flacco. And that's with the time that he has spent not playing, over a week. Almost 2 weeks of just chilling. Kenny Pickett is on the hot seat. If Kenny Pickett doesn't show up this week, Kenny Pickett will more than likely end up on injured reserve, and Cleveland will have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Now, the question is, what is Flacco going to do? We have yet to see Joe Flacco in the preseason. Will we get to see him for game 3 versus the Rams in a dress rehearsal game before the season starts? Or will it just be Dillon Gabriel and shedeursanders? Because Shedeur will be back Monday. Oh, he gonna be back. Oh, he gonna be ready. And once again, he gonna be throwing heat. Because what we saw from Dillon Gabriel yesterday was everything that we have seen in camp already. It is the same thing. He throws a few good passes, throws a pick. Throws a good few passes, bad snap, throws another pick. What we've seen from camp is what we've seen from Dillon Gabriel on yesterday. So no surprise. We're not coming down on Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel is a good quarterback. He showed that he can play in the NFL. What he didn't show, that he was ready to be a starter in the NFL, which Shedeur surely showed on last week. We would like to see it again. So hopefully both quarterbacks are healed up from their injuries and ready to compete on next Saturday against the Rams as they come to Cleveland. And we know Kyle Shanahan doesn't start his starters in the preseason. So Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur might just get all second, third, and fourth team players. But Dillon Gabriel played with starters yesterday. There wasn't just second and third team players out there. Dillon Gabriel got the treatment that Shedeur didn't get. He got starters, receivers. He got starters on the offensive line. Got a starting running back. He got all the luxuries to help him succeed. Played in max protect most of the first half. And he still threw a pick. And he still had another turnover. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the things that helps a YouTube brother out. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.